Now, if you're a dog owner, listen up. I am one. So according to a new study from the University of Surrey, the travel and tourism industry could unleash a $50 billion market by the end of the decade simply by becoming more dog-friendly. Lottie Gross is author of the books Dog-Friendly Weekends and the upcoming Dog Days Out. Lottie, your books are the kind of books I read to find out where I can go with my Labrador. So what do you make of this new report? $50 billion market, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not at all surprised by this. The dog market is huge. I've spent the last sort of 3 or 4 years traveling around the UK and Europe, finding the best dog-friendly places and looking for hotels and accommodation and museums and all sorts of places that are allowing dogs. And I'm consistently astonished at the different kinds of things you can do with your dog. So the idea that it's going to be this huge business market, it really doesn't surprise me at all.
It doesn't. And do you think this has been hugely accelerated by the pandemic? Because lots of people invested in dogs or puppies during the pandemic, didn't they, in the lockdown?
Yeah, I certainly think there is a case for that. I don't know how much the purchase of dogs or the adoption of dogs has slowed down since the pandemic. But there was certainly a huge interest kind of during and post-pandemic in this kind of pet ownership. And I suppose I've certainly seen that with my books as well. I've witnessed the kind of, the success of them and popularity of them has been a kind of testament to just how many dog owners there are. I travel to Dogfest every summer and I get to speak to dog owners at Dogfest where I do a talk about traveling with your dog, and they are so enthusiastic, and there are often a lot of new puppies at Dogfest. So it seems that our love as a nation for dogs is certainly not slowing down.
So if you want to travel with your dog, how do you make that as easy as possible? And obviously if you're going overseas, there's the whole issue with passports and all that kind of shenanigans.
Yeah, so it's very tricky with the passports and going abroad. I actually, slightly cheekily perhaps, travelled to Ireland last year so that I could get an EU passport for my dog. So actually, I suppose now my dog might have a slightly more powerful passport than I do. But there's in the UK, we are a hugely dog-friendly country, and it's generally pretty easy. I mean, my general rule of thumb for travelling with your dog is just ask. So many places are dog-friendly: cafes, restaurants, pubs, hotels as well. If there's a particular hotel you're keen to stay at, then just call ahead and ask if they allow dogs. Often they won't even have it kind of advertised on their website, but they will still allow your dog in. I think just the key thing to remember when you're traveling with your dog is understanding what they are capable of, understanding what they are comfortable with, and not putting them in situations that will cause high stress, because if your dog gets stressed and acts out, that's only going to make your holiday more stressful as well.
Lottie, we're out of time. Thank you for your advice and your take on that story. Really interesting.